Hey, y'all.
So I'm not a political creature at all. I don't give a fuck what you believe in. Believe in what you want to believe in. That's what you believe in. Great. But there is a vote coming up, and normally I don't even talk about it. But issue one. Um, this year, pardon my French, has been a complete cunt to me. My son would have been 30 years old in May. Had my choice to keep him, the universe allowed me to do that, and it didn't. There is a trigger warning here. I'm going to talk about sexual assault and rape. So if you have a problem or are concerned, I'm not afraid to share this, but I don't want to hurt anybody. Okay? This is for my son, Marshall William. It's called Six Devolution, Volume 1. It began with gunpowder, an ankle-length skirt, the color of almost dried blood, haphazard upon my right hip and draped lazily down my left thigh, a short-sleeved top the color of egg cream, dotted with dusty roses and leaves the color of just turning mold, one red-brown leather flat encasing an alabaster foot that was trapped against the foot of a couch by his knee. Forcing my thighs apart, one hand up the back of my skull, twisted and fisted into a knot, using my hair as his leverage. The other hand seeking out the seam of my pantyhose, ripping out the crotch and sending runners down the insides of both thighs. Brilliant flashes of pain as he shoved his fingers inside of me, grunting his displeasure at finding me dry. Removing his fingers, spitting in his palm, and running his hand between my legs, using his own spittle to prepare me. He wasn't fully erect at first, but as he tried to push himself into me, I heard this high-pitched keening. It took a few moments, but I realized that the keening was coming from me. I was screaming into a couch cushion, and I felt his erection grow as my screams grew louder. And then he was able to force himself inside of me. 4 inches of my exposed belly flesh raking against the rough armrest of a fourth-hand couch, his now free hand brushing up the back of my shirt, balling my shirt and bra strap into his hand, clutching everything together and pulling, and he shoved against me. And right then I remembered there were 6 bullets. I had paid attention as he lined them up before while cleaning his gun. I had counted each one of them. And as if the memory weren't enough, I felt the cold steel of that gun against the inside of my right thigh, his belt buckle biting into the flesh just below. And with every thrust, the gun dug deeper into my thigh, closer and closer to my vagina. But somewhere along the way, I simply disappeared. All sound ceased. I'd stopped screaming. He'd unfisted my hair. He had let go of my shirt because I had stopped fighting. He forced my face, left cheek down, onto the couch cushion, his right hand palm flat against my right cheek, thumb wrapped under my chin, fingers gripping flesh. And I watched, mute, as reflected in the window across the room, him lurching into my body, and my body moving in response. And I shifted my eyes away from the reflection and focused on the legs of a chair at a table nearby, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Hearing nothing, feeling nothing, just counting, watching 4 stationary chair legs move back and forth in my line of sight. And then there was heat and wet, and his semen running down the insides of my thighs as he collapsed over my body like a wet blanket, now cradling my face like a lover would. I love you, Paige. Jesus Christ, you are so good. However, let me be absolutely clear. I was his daughter, but not. He also took me as his lover and used me as his puppet. The levels of deceit, destruction, and complication are mind-breaking. I see him clearly now for what I did not then: a predator, a devil, and a soul murderer. The only humanoid being that I would willingly watch the entirety of life drain from his eyes, knowing there would be no satisfaction other than watching a tiny piece of evil perish. It was a thin blue line, and he crossed it in the most vicious of ways, stealing my innocence and identity in minutes, stripping me of all belief in love, humanity, kindness, and being, leaving me an empty shell of a person, a true member of the actual walking dead, stumbling around in ripped pantyhose with blood-encrusted thighs, while he tucked his limp dick back into his underwear. As he zipped up his pants and refastened his gun belt, he patted me on the ass cheek and said, "You can clean up in the bathroom around the corner." And then he pulled my skirt down from my hip to cover my legs as if he actually cared. He wrapped his arm up under my waist, pulled me upright from over the couch armrest, squeezed me to him tightly, kissed the hair over my right ear, and said, "I'll see you when I come out, sweetheart." Thank you.